Hello everyone, I, Kundan Chandrakar, welcome you all to the SWAYAM online course lecture on demolition work. In this video, we are going to learn briefly about demolition survey, factor affecting selection of demolition method, and sequence of demolition. Here are the contents we will cover in this our lecture. The first one is the introduction, demolition, safety measures in demolition of the building, demolition survey, demolition plan preparation, factor affecting selection of demolition method, sequence of demolition, advantage and disadvantage, pre-blast consideration, and the last one is the conclusion. Let us discuss the first point is the introduction. Demolition work, often refers to as demolition, is the process of systematically demolishing or destroying structure, building or other man-made constructions. This activity is essential in various contexts such as urban development, construction project, infrastructure improvements, and building renovation. Demolition work requires careful planning, skilled labor, and adherence to safety regulation to ensure a safe and efficient process. Let us discuss the main key point of demolition work. The first one is a purpose. Demolition work serves several purposes, including clearing space for a new construction, removing unsafe and deteriorating structure, and making way for infrastructure project like a road expansion or renovation. The second is a safety. Safety is a paramount in demolition work. Professionals must identify potential hazard, use the right equipment and technique, and protect both worker and the surrounding environments. The third point is a regulation and permit. Demolition project often required permit and compliances with local, state, and federal regulation. These regulations are in place to ensure safety, environment protection, and proper disposal of debris and hazardous material. The next point is a pre-demolition planning. A detailed demolition plan is crucial. This plan outlines the sequence of work, identifying potential risk, specific equipment and method, and ensure proper disposal of waste material. Environmental consideration. Demolition can generate substitutional amount of waste including hazardous material such as asbestos or lead-based paint. Proper disposal and environmental safeguard are essential to mitigate the impact on the surrounding. The next point is equipment and technique. Demolition work employs various equipment and techniques including wrecking ball, explosive, hydraulic excavator, and handling tools. This choice of equipment depends on factors like the type of structure, its location, and safety consideration. The next point is recycling and salvaging. Sustainable demolition practices aim to salvage reusable material such as wood, metal, and concrete for recycling or resale. This reduced waste and contribute to environmental sustainability. The next point is a risk assessment. Demolition professionals assess the structure integrity of building and structures to determine potential risk. They plan the demolition process to minimize risk and control debris dispersal. The next point is a debris management. Effective debris management, including sorting, recycling, and disposing of material property. Hazardous material must be handled and disposed of following strict guidelines. The next point is a public safety. Demolition projects often occur in urban area where public safely in a concern. Proper safety measures, signage, and communication with the community are crucial to minimum disturbance and accidents. The next point is a post-demolition cleanup. After the demolition is complete, a thorough cleanup is necessary to ensure the site is safe and ready to the next phase of development of construction. The next point is a historical and architectural preservation. In some cases, demolition work may involve preserving elements of historical and architectural significance within a structure before its removal. In conclusion, demolition work is a complex and highly regulated process that involves controlled removal of structure to make way of new developments or address safety and environmental concerns. Proper planning, safety measures, and adherence to regulation are essentially to execute demolition work successfully while minimizing risk and environmental impact. Let us discuss the demolition. Demolition refers to breakup of building structure either fully or partially. Most of consideration is to be given to demolition of structure than the erection, construction and maintenance. The problems, hazard and uncertainty can be much greater is demolition, and it is also carried out by the unskilled worker. The design engineer have responsibility for safety for not only the design and construction but also the demolition of the structure at the end is usual life and precaution during the demolition has three goals. The first one is specifically aimed at safeguarding the personnel on the site. Second is a safeguarding of persons not connected with the demolition including the general public and the protection of the property. Likely to the effect of demolition operation, the causes of accident to the worker involved with demolition are fall from height, falling material, inadequate across, overhanging material, etc. Premature collapse due to incorrect dismantling, overloading or excessive pre-weakening features particularly during demolition. Let us discuss the safety precaution. The safety precaution to be taken before demolition depend on the method of demolition. Demolition methods include manual demolition, mechanical demolition by pusher arm, demolition ball, and wire rope pulling, exposing, demolition by hydraulic bluster, and thermic lancer. This used of method of demolition vary depending on types of building and structure such as houses, large building, bridge, arch, independent chimneys, steel and concrete structure, spires, pylon and masts, petroleum tank, etc. Any demolition work should be proceeded by the first is a site survey which should be comprehensive. The second is a decide on the location and position of screen, scaffold, etc. Protection of the public, method to protect surrounding building from the danger of collapse, electrical power to all service within the structure should be shut off. Similarly, all gas, water and stream service line should be shut off. The structure to be demolished should be adequate and coordinated off. Display boards to be displayed prominently warning the public of the danger. Glass in the door, windows, loose objectives and projecting part to the removal. Let us discuss the next important point is the safety measures in demolition of the building. The first one is the worker should not be deployed at different level unless adequate precautions are taken to ensure safety of them. The second main point is the demolition work should begin at the top of the structure and proceed downward. The third one is a masonry, concrete and other dismantled material should not be allowed to accumulate in quantities which may endanger the stability of any floor and structure supports. The fourth point is a part of the structure where necessary should be adequate shortage and braced or other supported. The fifth point is if the structure is to be demolished by explosive, all safety measurements pertain to explosive such as transport, storage, handling, loading, clearing, etc. should be strictly adhered to. The sixth main point is a foundation wall serving as a retaining wall to the support of adjoining structure should not be demolished until the adjoint structure have been underpinned or braced on earth supported by seat pilling. The seventh main point is stairs with hand railing should be kept in place as long as practicable to provide access and access. The eighth main point is if the work of demolition is continued in night, all passageways, stairs and other part of structure where the worker have to pass and also to work should be adequate lit. And the ninth main point is a worker should wear strictly safety belts and safety helmets and hand goggles. And the 10th point is if the demolition is carried out by machining such as power shovel, bulldozer, etc., the safety measure relevant to operations and use of such machines should be adequate too. The 11th main point is if swinging weight such as the ball is used for demolition, a safety zone having a width of at least 1.50 times the height of the building or structure should be maintained. The 12th main point is a scaffold used for demolition operation should be independent of the structure to be demolished. The 13th main point is if ladder are used for demolition, only traveling mechanical ladder should be used. The 14th main point is the hoist of whenever it is practicable should be used to lower the material. Material should have a gate at the bottom with suitable means of regulating the flow of material. Let us discuss safety measure in demolition of structural steel work. The steel structure should be demolished from the top tier by tier. Removing the various members of a steel structure should be done in a planned manner. All precautions should be taken to prevent danger from any sudden twist, spring or collapse of steel parts works when it is cut or released. Structural steel parts should be carefully lowered or not dropped from height. And the last, safety precaution of gas cutting of the steel member should be adhered to. Let us discuss safety measure in demolition of tall chimney, minarets and pylons. The first one is a tall chimney, minarets, pylon, etc. should not be decompromised by overturning or blasting unless a protected area of a adequate dimension in which the chimney or structure can be fall safely. If the demolition of the tall structure are done by blasting with explosive, it should be done with the service of a specialized engineer. The entire operation should be under his supervision and control. Let us discuss the safety measures in demolition of industrial structure. The safety measures in removing heavy and bulky machinery, plant and equipment should be observed in addition to some of the relevant safety measures already started. If the industrial structure such as the nuclear power plant, the service of the specialist expert in the field of radioactivity and radiation should be utilized. Let us discuss the next important point, that is demolition survey. A demolition survey, also known as pre-demolition survey or structural survey, is the crucial step in the demolition process. It involves a comprehensive assessment of a structure before its demolition together. Essentially, information and ensures safely and compliance with the regulation. Here are the key aspects of demolition survey. The first one is the purpose. Identify hazardous material. The survey helps identify any hazardous material present in a structure such as the asphalt, lead-based paint and other toxic substances. Assess structural integrity. It evaluates the condition of the building structure to determine potential weakness, instability or risk during demolition. Determine salvageability and material. The survey identifies material that can salvage and recycle, reduce waste and environmental impact. Develop a demolition plan. The survey provides crucial data for developing a safe, effective demolition plan, including equipment selection and safety measures. The second point is a survey scope. Hazardous material assessment. This involves testing for the presence of asbestos, lead, PCB and other potential harmful substances. Structural assessment. A structural engineer may evaluate the building integrity, load-bearing capacity and stability. Utility identification. Locate the location of the utilities such as gas line, water pipes, electric system and communication lines. Salvageability material inventory. Identify material like wood, metal, concrete or architectural element that can be reclaimed or recycled. Let us discuss the another point is qualified professionals. A demolition survey should be conducted by qualified professionals including structural engineer, environmental consultant and lead inspector. These experts have a necessary knowledge and experience to access the structure throughout. Let us discuss the next point is a documentation. Detailed documentation is essentially including photograph, drawing and written report. Survey report should be clearly outlined finding including hazardous material location and structural assessment and recommendations. The next point is regulatory compliances. Ensure compliance with the local, state and federal regulation governing demolition and environmental standards. Obtain any necessary permit and approval before proceeding with demolition. Let us discuss the next important point is safety measures. Prioritize safety throughout the survey process, essentially when dealing with potential hazard, implement safety protocol to protect surveyor and anyone entering the structure. Let us discuss the next point is an environmental consideration. Develop plan for safe removal and disposal of hazardous material, ensuring compliance with environmental regulation. Consider the impact on the surrounding environment and implement measures to minimize pollution and debris dispersion. The next important point is communication. Effective communication with all stakeholders, including contractor, regulatory agencies, and the community, is essentially to coordinate the demolition process. The next important point is a post-survey action. Use of survey finding to develop a demolition plan, which include the safe removal of hazardous material, structured demolition method, and waste management and site cleanup. In summary, a demolition survey is the critical initial step in demolition process. It provides essentially information for safe, compliant and environmental responsible demolition work. By identifying hazard, assessing structural integrity and planning for waste management and salvage, a demolition survey helps to ensure that the successfully and efficient execution of demolition project. Let us discuss the another point is a preparation of plan. Based on demolition survey, a demolition plan is prepared. This plan is produced with the application for approval to the local authorities. This plan includes plans showing the location of building to be demolished, building height, structural system, extent or damage to the building, existing structure of facilities in the vicinity, layout plan, proposed method of demolition, safety measures, proposed sequence of demolition step, detail of equipment used, plan for handling and disposal of debris, proposed arrangement of the site supervision. Let us discuss the important point is a demolition plan preparation. Preparation a demolition plan involve a systematic approach to ensure the safe and effective removal of the structure or building. Here are the step-by-step guide to how to prepare a demolition plan. The first one is a project assessment and documentation. The sub point is a site inspection. Begin by thoroughly inspection the site and the structure slated for demolition. Document the existing condition, noting any hazards such as asbestos, lead paint, or structural weakness. Us build drawing. Gather us build a drawing or structural plan of the structure to understand its layout, structural components, and utilities. The next point is a site survey. Conduct a topographic survey to understand the site elevation changes and drainage pattern. Let us discuss the next point is a regulatory compliance and permit. Determine all applicable local, state, and federal regulation governing demolition. This may include environmental, safety, and building code required. Apply for the necessary permit and approvals. Ensure you have all required documentation before proceeding. Let us discuss the next point, hazardous material assessments. Identify and assess hazardous material within the structure such as asbestos, lead, mold, or chemicals. Develop a plan for the safe removal and disposal of hazardous material following regulatory guidelines. The next important point is demolition methodology. Select the appropriate demolition method based on factors like the building size, location, structure condition, and environmental conditions. Common methods include mechanical demolition, impulsive, and manual demolition. Provide a detailed step-by-step description of the demolition process, specifically how different parts of the structure will be decomposed. Let us discuss the next point, structural engineering and support. If necessary, consult with structural engineer to design temporary support, shoring, or branching system to maintain safety during demolitions. Let us discuss the next point is equipment and resource planning. List of the equipment, machinery, and tool required for the demolition, including crane, excavator, wrecking ball, and protective gear for the worker. Determine the manpower needed for the each phase of the demolition and ensure workers have a necessary training and certifications. The next point is a safety procedure and protocol. Develop a comprehensive safety plan that include protocol for fall protection, dust control, fire safety, and emergency response. Provide detailed safety instruction for all the worker and subcontractor. Let us discuss the next point is environmental consideration. Implement measure to control dust, noise, and vibration to minimize environmental impact and comply with regulation. Consider salvaging and recycling material whenever possible to reduce wastage. Let us discuss the next important point is public and community relations. Communication, the demolition schedules, and potential disruption to neighboring residential, business, and local authority. Establish safety zone and access control to prevent unauthorized entry. The next point is a monitoring and reporting. Define procedures for continuously monitoring of the demolition process and regular monitoring on progress and safety compliances. The next point is a emergency response plan. Create a detailed emergency response plan that cover potential accidents, fire, and unexpected events. Ensure all workers are trained on these procedures. It essentially to involve experienced professionals including engineers, safety expert, and legal advisor when preparing a demolition plan to ensure compliance with all the relevant regulation and safe execute of the project. Regular communication with stakeholder and continuously monitoring of the process and safety are also critical through the demolition process. Let us discuss factor affecting selection of demolition method. Type of structure. Different type of structure like load bearing machinery structure, RCC frame structure, steel structure, etc. The second depending on the size of structure. If the size of structure is small, hand demolition can be sufficient. For the large structure and multi-story building, especially like the wrecking ball method and deliberate collapse and impulsion technique, etc. are necessary. available time period, location of structure, limitation of noise, dust and vibration, skill of workers, safety, availability of equipment, adjacent structure. These are the various factors in demolition work. Let us discuss the flow diagram of demolition technique. This diagram is denoted of demolition technique. The first one is a engineering demolition and the second is a non-engineering demolition. Engineering demolition, there are three parts: mechanical method, implosion method or implosion technique we are called, deconstruction technique, and compared to non-engineering demolition, there is only one manual demolition. Let us discuss the mechanical method. The various type of mechanical method. First one is a raking method, push arm technique, thermic lancer technique, non-explosive demolition, concrete swing method, deliberate collapse method, pressure jetting method or bursting. Let us discuss the second, manual demolition. It is suitable for demolition of a small building. Tool required for the manual demolition. The tools are hammer, picks, wire cutter, welding cutter, hand-driven hydraulic jacks. Let us discuss the main important point is a sequence of demolition. All cantilever structure shall be decompromised first. Before demolishing roof, all water tank and lift room shall be decompromised. Demolition of floor slab shall be begin at mid-span and proceed toward the supporting beam. The order of demolition of floor beams shall be followed: cantilever beam, secondary beam, primary beam. Non-loading bearing wall and the wall partitions shall be removed priorly to demolition process. And the last, columns and load bearing wall shall be demolished after removal of beam on tops. Let us discuss ball and crane. This is one of the oldest and most commonly used method for building demolition. A crane used a raking ball weight up to 6,120 kg, which is either dropped into or swing into the element to the decompromised. The ball is made from the forged steel, which means the steel is not cast into the mold in molten state. It is formed under very high pressure while the steel is red hot, soft but not molten, to compressed and to strengthen it. Concrete member can be broken into a small pieces, but secondary cutting of reinforcing may be necessary. Here are the diagram of swing in line methods. Here are the diagram in vertical drop methods. Let us discuss the advantage and disadvantage of ball and crane method. The first one is a advantage. The advantages are two decompromised roof and the other horizontal spans. The raking ball are still used when demolition may not be possible due to the local environmental issues or asbestos lead building content. Here are the disadvantages. It depends a great deal of skill from the crane operator. The height of the building that can decompromised in limited by crane size and working room. However, building as height as 20 stories have been decompromised. The breakup process can cause considerable dust, vibration and noise which may be objectable. Let us discuss the another point is a dismantling. Selective demolition or of complete concrete structure is possible by cutting elements and then removing them with the crane. The cutting process may be by sawing, water jetting and thermal lens. Because the surface of a cut concrete is smooth and relevantly regular. This method have particular application when the objective is partially demolition for instead in the creation of opening in wall and slabs. Cutting with the water jet minimize dust and eliminates vibration and fire hazards, and abstract the water catching system. It is required to clean up during the jetting process. The next point is a hydro demolition used in a high pressure supersonic water jet that penetrates and pores and cracks of the concrete and build up the when it is a internal pressure and pressure exceed the tensile strength of the concrete breaks. Concrete, the water jet can be not used by the cutting straight line, but also contour a useful features for cutting excess manholes. Here are the diagrams of thermal lens and sewing method. A thermal lens is created by packing a seamless mild steel tube with low carbon rods and passing oxygen through the tube. While this method is eliminate vibrating and the dust problem, it create other hazard associated with smoke and fire danger. Whether sewing, jetting and lensing, it is used to dismantle the structure or its component. Each elements must be safely lowered on the ground. Let us discuss the next important point, that is advantage and disadvantage of dismantling method. Let us discuss advantage of dismantling method. Dismantling of building component, especially of reuse, recycling and waste management. Reducing disposal cost where waste collection, hauling or disposal is supported by the tax based. Building components that are decommissioned with all the need stored in secure, dry location. This will protect them from waste damage and theft. Let us discuss disadvantage of dismantling method. The amount of time and cost of labor are mainly drawbacks. Harvesting material from the structure can be take week, whether demolition may be completed in roughly a day. Toxic waste such as asbestos, sheet and lead paint have no resale value, so they are discarded. Let us discuss the next important point, that is explosives. In the controlled demolition industry, building impulsion is a strategic placing of explosive material and timing of the detonations so that the structures collapse on itself in a matter of seconds, minimizing the physical damage to the immediately surrounding. Despite it is a terminology, building impulsion also includes the controlled demolition of other structure such as bridges, smokestack, tower and tunnels. Numerous small explosive strategically placed within the structure are used to catalyze the collapse. Nitroglycerin, dynamite or the other explosive are used to shatter reinforced concrete supports. Blasting method employed rapidly expanding gases confined with the series of boreholes to produce controlled fractures, which provide a easy concrete removal. For the demolition of concrete structure, it is used to drill hole at predetermined angle into the concrete to be removed. Implosion, it is a strategical placing of explosive material and timing of the detonation so that the structure collapse on itself in the matter of seconds, minimize the physical damage to the immediately surrounding. The technique weaken or remove critical support so that the building can no longer withstand the force of gravity and the fall under its own weight. So here are the conclusion part. Let us discuss the conclusion part. It can conclude that decommissioned. It can concluded that demolition the building structure will prove very useful economically and quickest for reconstruction, lead to safe and controlled demolition for the occupant and neighbors. Develop a technique also rapid demolition with no harm to the environment. With this, we will end our today's lecture here. Thank you for your patience and we will meet in our next lecture. Thank you.